Fuck it, just do it. Because you're gonna regret thinking like, oh, what could have happened? I would very much rather take a no instead of like not even trying. I need to experience that no because then I can move on instead of wondering like, oh, I wonder how it would have went or if I got it. So just do it.
Living Mosaic.
Hello, I hope y'all are doing well today. I am Don, and I just want to welcome you all to Mosaic Makers, a podcast from Living Mosaic where we get to highlight the stories of amazing creatives going all the way back to their origins of inspiration to hopefully inspire you to create today. And I am extremely excited today as for this very first episode for this podcast, this platform, all of that. We have a homie coming in all the way from Honolulu, Hawaii. She is the DJ extraordinaire, Caldee. Drea, how are you? How have you been?
I'm doing good. And congrats on the first episode.
Thank you. It's a lot of trial and error, but I'm glad to be able to launch it, and I am really grateful that you are, a part of it, being the very first. So thank you for taking the time. I know you're super busy. I remember we were I actually saw you over at Club Energy. Awesome set, by the way. Glad to be able to attend that passion project that you have.
Thank you.
Must have been
coming.
Yeah, no, you were busy that past 4 days over in LA, right?
Very. It was Thursday through Sunday. I was playing 4 days straight.
I don't know how you do it. Do you drink caffeine or something like that? I don't know.
Honestly, the most I'll do is matcha, but I can't do coffee, and I just run on adrenaline.
Hey, you feed off the vibes of the audience, and it permeates. So yeah, no, it's a vibe. And I know that you have a lot coming soon, so I know we're recording this over in October-ish, but I know that you got a lot coming soon, but I'll keep that a secret in between. But I bet there's a lot more to come, I guess, right? But yeah, no, there was a lot of mutuals that have been raving about you, so I had to reach out. So again, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be a part of this. I really do appreciate it.
Of course.
So before we, get to your current status, your experiences in your career right now, I want to go all the way back to talk about your background. So before you got to this point, I want to talk about what got you started as a creative. So going all the way back to when you were born in the Philippines, you grew up in General Trias, Cavite, up until you were 10, the life memories of you eating taho, isa, quelegs, bagoong, all the works in the Philippines. I just wanted to ask, throughout that experience just in childhood in the Philippines, what got you into arts in the first place? Because you were a theater kid, you were singing Britney when you were 5. Just curious on where that started.
Well, it started with my family, honestly. So I grew up in a lot of musical theaters. My mom was a stage manager for a lot of productions out there, and my uncle was a director for TV, film, and was also in theater. So they basically dragged me around to all the shows. I lived in makeup rooms and dressing rooms and just in the back of theaters.
I bet you were just sitting in the back. You're like, what is all this? Just trying to get a feel of what was going on. But you still loved it, I assume, just capturing the aura, everyone just performing out there, right?
Yeah, honestly, being surrounded by really talented people. Lea Salonga was one of them. So that was really sick. I always lie to people and tell people yeah, that's my auntie. But yeah, it was just, I would enjoy the AC, and I remember, it's really weird, but I always remember the smell of makeup. That was such a huge memory for me for some reason. And I always played with the props and musical instruments, and yeah, it was honestly really fun for me.
And I bet, that experience of just being into the creative scene, or at least that creative arts, that also continued when you moved to Hercules, California when you were 10. So what was that like for you when you went to a completely new place that you were essentially first time? Because I remember one of the things that I researched is you saw Target and you're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, honestly, so moving to the States and just going for the first time, it was really surreal for me. I live in the suburbs, so everything looked the same. And I remember looking out the window and being like, this doesn't even look real. Like, this looks like a movie set to me. Like, what is this? And yeah, we went to Target the next day. I was like, what kind of name is that? And I don't know why I was hating on it, but I was just like trying to adjust as a kid.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine the plethora of like sensory overload for the most part, being completely surrounded by so many new things. But one of those new things I bet that you saw, correct me if I'm wrong, when you moved to California, that was like a whole plethora of different like media that you were able to consume, like growing up there in middle school and high school, right?
Oh, for sure. Like I mean, I did grow up watching a lot of TV as a kid in the Philippines, but I mean, the internet was such a thing. I wasn't really on the internet as a kid, like in the before I moved to the States. So I was online. I was on Tumblr. I was on Instagram, YouTube. So I was really exposed to a lot of new things, especially like music.
Gotcha. And some of the specifics that I got, like, from checking you out was, you learned guitar and ukulele when you were over in California, right?
Yeah, I picked those up, violin as well. So it started with violin. Since in fifth grade, we had to choose between band or orchestra. And I was introduced to the violin before I even moved. So I just said, oh, I'll just do orchestra. And then I taught myself how to play the guitar and the ukulele.
No, that's really cool. I think that's one of the things with picking up just the general experience of learning an instrument. And then from now, you got to get other cultural influences. And this doesn't even permeate to just music, but also I remember like seeing you. I mean, I remember you referencing a lot of like TV shows growing up, like Nickelodeon and stuff like that. I remember like Shiny Teeth and Me. It's a random plug for that.
Yes.
And also, growing up, you were skating as well. I mean, as a California kid, that's always a big thing, right?
I had to teach myself how to skate because my best friend gave me a penny nickel board. And I was like, well, I'm not just gonna put this aside.
Yeah, no, I think just that, like all those experiences, it shows a lot of your willingness to try new things and just, be like at that fucking mentality where you just do it just because you wanted to learn. And I think one of the big moments as well in your creative path that it kind of led into, your degree in creative media over in UH Manoa, but capturing your adventures. First off is Instagram, but the second one too was the GoPro Hero 3 that your mom and Uncle Tony gave you to.
Yeah, I was big on making like monthly vlogs. I wasn't like speaking on them, but I basically brought my GoPro with me everywhere, captured everything. And I feel like that's why I'm like that on my Instagram now. I have such a bad habit of like having my phone out all the time. I feel like I need to chill out on that and just like live in the moment. But yeah, it definitely started in high school.
It's definitely a balance now. Just like you want to experience things, but at the same time too, like being a creative, you're like, but social media, I need to do something.
Or I'm like a memory hoarder at the same time. Like I want to look back at it.
No, I totally get that. Like I know like some people are like live in the moment concerts, but I remember when I'm on the plane and just like watched like Chromacopia like live, I'm like, oh man, I still like get goosebumps like looking on
right.
Like,
I just
the tours and all.
Again.
You know what I mean? Exactly. But okay, I'm glad that we have that vibe. Appreciate that. So after accelerating a bit further into graduating in 2014 at Hercules High School, you really took a big jump. One of the many jumps that you took, but one of the big jumps was going to UH Manoa, like going for not just another state, but like it's a whole damn time zone, like difference out there. Even though the Bay Area held a special place in your heart, you spent your time in summer 2014 to be able to just spend time with friends. But this is where one of the big, I'm not going to reference Marvel because I was like, one of the big key points or whatever. But this is one of those key points where, you started in 2014-2015 school year, you majored in linguistics, start, and then you switched to creative media. But you also had a lot of fun memories just spending time with people that just wanted to vibe. Some of them was, dorming at Aloha Ilima. Did I pronounce that?
Yeah, you got it right.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Don't call me a Halu, please. And, just having jam sessions with your dorm mates at the towers. And a little thing that I wanted to poke as well is that you were a fan of Selection growing up. And do you feel like a lot of that early exposure led you into DJing, or at least that push to get more interested into that?
I feel like so. Let's see. I started with Majestic Casual in high school,
Oh,
and then
okay.
that's how I got introduced to artists like Esta, Mr. Carmack, and then following them led me to Selection. And then
Got
so
you.
I discovered Selection around like 2014. It didn't play into me DJing, but it definitely played a huge role in my taste in music.
Got you.
And yeah, it was really important for me to like listen to all their early projects.
Gotcha. And when you were, listening to a lot of the projects and all that, I was really curious on how that kind of, I don't want to say spark, but how did that lead into that opportunity into teak? If you know what I
Oh,
mean. That first performing like in front of in general, like you started DJing a little bit before performing in front of the crowd, right?
I want to say like a month.
Okay.
Yeah, I just learned how to DJ because a friend of mine was the DJ for that fraternity, and I was watching what he was doing, and I was like, oh, that looks really fun. And I realized it
Mhm.
was another way to express myself and my love for
Yeah.
music. So I kind of gave it a try. I ended up really liking it, and then I was given the opportunity to play in front of hundreds of people at the tailgate. And literally there
Oh,
was a table
wow.
on top of like the back of a pickup truck,
Yeah.
and I remember I was like, yo, this truck is getting fucked up. Like we were all jumping on it and everything, but yo, the tailgates were crazy. There'll always be like
Yeah.
like a couple hundred people there.
Mhm.
And I had a couple girls come up to me after, and they were like, yo, you did that and you're a girl, like we don't ever see that. And I was like, that actually felt really good. I want to keep doing this.
That's awesome. I think that's one of the things that I've seen with a lot of my interviews, especially with female DJs, is, just having that empowerment of someone like them
Hmm.
to essentially, kill it and be able to just vibe and set the tone for the hundreds in the crowd. So, applaud you for that. And I mean, obviously there's a lot of experience like that in the future, but I'll save that for later. But I remember you told me like you couldn't sleep the day before because you were practicing on the transitions and you were nervous. But when you went up, you said that moment like afterwards when there was somebody, I don't want to say that, but more so just enjoying the vibe and being able to set the tone. It really allowed you to be like, I want to keep on doing this, right?
Yeah, I practice the same set like over and over again, same transitions. I actually have the paper where I wrote the set list down. I kept
You
it.
still have it right now?
Yeah, dude, it's in one
No
of my diaries.
way.
I was just looking at it actually a couple
Wow.
months ago. I was like, yo,
Wow.
it's still with me. And I was just so nervous. I didn't want to fuck it up. So I stayed
Mm.
up, practiced, but as soon as I started, honestly, there was just so much good energy that I forgot about what I was nervous about. I'm still like that to this day. Like I will get really anxious a couple days before like an important gig, but as soon as I step up to
Mhm.
the decks, honestly, I'm like, nah, I was made for this.
Because I think that's one of the things, like starting off, especially for a lot of DJs, is you're bound to make mistakes. You're bound to do that, but at the end of the day, as long as you set the tone for the party or the crowd that you have, I mean, do you feel that that's something that trumps all of that at the end of the day?
I feel like the most important thing for me is I'm having fun because that will
Mm,
translate. And
yeah,
like,
yeah, that's
if
right.
they see me having fun, they'll also have fun. Like, we just exchange energies, and
Mhm.
it's just like, yeah, it just works out.
I love that. No, that's cool. So after Teak, you started getting into a lot of the mixes. I bet something that really holds deep into your heart is the precious metal themes, where you started releasing your mixes from emerald to ruby, and then your favorite amethyst. And it was a lot of figuring out your sound at that time in 2015. No?
Yeah, so I don't know why I decided on the gems theme, but I found out that I liked a lot of different genres, and
Mm-hmm.
I was still trying to figure out how to play them all in one mix. So I just
Sure.
started using the mixes as like, oh, this one's going to be house, this one's going to be like future beats, this one's going to be trap. And it was the best way for me to showcase like what I'm actually capable of doing.
And it's really cool to be able to just figure out your sound as, you know, that progressed, right? Because I can't imagine that each time that you release that mix, you were able to learn a thing or two, and that just kind of helped you, you know, evolve as a DJ.
Yeah, and it also helped me rack up my library. Like it was
Yeah,
the
no, for
best
sure.
part was digging for the mixes.
No, I mean, and look at you now. You're still doing I don't want to say the same thing, but it's still, at least you could see a lot of what you've been doing like back then to some degree kind of translate into now, right?
Definitely.
That's awesome. So evolving into mixes, now I want to go to your correct me if I'm wrong, this is your very first performance at the club. It was with no movement, right?
Yeah, I actually was just reminiscing on that Saturday night because I was at the venue where that was at, and I was telling them like, yo, you guys know this was where I was my first gig ever, like my first club gig. And I've been here for like 10 years now. It's crazy. But yeah, it was with no movement, and I played actually the Limelight mix that I posted on SoundCloud.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the same thing.
How did it feel when that first time that you performed, like hearing that music through the club speakers?
It was
I can't
really
imagine.
scary because it's so loud. Like I'm used to like my dorm speakers that are like shitty, like, I don't know, party speakers, but hearing it with sub, I was so scared. Everything's rattling, everything's loud. I barely looked up, pretty sure, but yeah, I was so nervous.
I mean, but at the end of it, you really enjoyed it, right?
I did. I still was sweating like crazy though.
Hey, I mean, as long as it was a vibe that you experienced it, that's what mattered. So yeah. So this momentum kept on going. You performed at Booze Cruise, you performed at Ginza, you performed at Republic. See, look at me just listing all the places in Hawaii and all that. But one event in particular that I wanted to highlight, because I felt like this was a very special moment for you, was when you opened for Mija, right?
Yes. It was, I don't even know what year that was, but that was my first time being a direct support act for an electronic show.
How did that feel, just being able to be in front of a sold out crowd like that, just performing? I remember one of the things that I saw was, you know, you FaceTiming your mom in the middle of the
Yes, I remember those photos. It was crazy, and I think that was, I'm trying to figure out if that's my first time playing in Hawaiian Brian's. But same thing, it was scary because it was loud, and that was the biggest crowd that I'd ever played for at that time. And to play for Miha, like, it was such an honor. I had been listening to her stuff for a while, so it was, and she was really nice. She gave me a little flower right after I played, and she hugged me, and yeah, it was really inspiring to hear her play too.
That's awesome. Oh man, I butchered the name. Okay, it's Miha. Okay, there you go. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. But no, I can't imagine how surreal it was that you woke up that next morning, you're like, I did that shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I mean, you just kept on rolling through that momentum. Like every 7 shows. I mean, you still do that to some degree, but now it's just 3 different cities.
Yeah, it's insane.
But I can't, like, you just kept the momentum going and going. And then going a bit back into your like personal experience, graduating from UH Manoa with a bachelor's in creative media after several academic probation.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, that's how it is. That's how
it is what it is.
But, you know, lays around your neck, walked off of Clarence T.C. Ching Field with that bachelor's. What were your initial thoughts in that journey when you walked off the field?
I said, finally, I'm out of here. Oh my goodness. College was such a journey. I, like you said, with 2 academic probations, literally got kicked out of University of Hawaii, and then went to KCC, Kapiolani Community College.
Oh, wow.
And then I got academic probation there. And then I was like, okay, maybe I should take a break because school is not for
Mhm.
me. I just like was taking the general classes, which I had no
Mhm.
interest in.
Yeah.
And so I was just unmotivated, just wanted to play music. And then I had a talk with my family and I finally buttoned up, got on the dean's list at KCC.
Look at
So got to
you.
go back to the university, got dean's list on there, and then I finally got into my department, which is creative media. And then I finally took interest because it's what I wanted to do. And
Mm.
then yeah, I think I was in the department for like 2 years and I finished.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had like your senior thesis like Mango Meat. I think that was
Mango
the
Meat was,
that was
yeah,
the,
co-directed that
the
with my friend Emma Daly. That was
yeah.
such a process, and I was like DJing low-key like full time, and was working, and then was going through like trying to finish college. It was an insane time of my life.
I mean, you got past it, so
I know. I'm
okay,
so
now you put into the context of like finally, okay, I get
yeah,
it.
finally.
And during that period, then in March 2020, that's when the lockdown started to occur. One of the things that I realized that you highlighted as well was, as constrained it was being in the lockdowns, especially with being a DJ. One of the things that you pointed out was it was a huge pillar of your growth as one. So can you expand on the specifics on what helped you grow?
Honestly, it pushed me to be more online. It definitely
Okay.
taught me how to do streams. It kind of tied everything that I was doing anyway with my job and my degree, like the whole filming
Mm-hmm.
thing. I was working as an audiovisual technician, so
Okay.
I just put all that together and learned how to stream. Got the gadgets and gizmos, everything. Had a whole like studio set up, and it pushed me to be multifaceted. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that's when the content thing started. Learned how to make like recaps and like be a little more about that because it was so important to be seen online because we weren't
Gotcha.
out in the club anymore. So I had to do everything to remind people that, yo, hey, I'm still doing this online.
Yeah, and you could see a lot of the elements that you learn from there, and you still use it to some degree today. I mean, the streams, it ended up, correct me if I'm wrong, you took some of those elements learning and going through the sets into like your car sets and stuff like that. So it's you see a lot of the pieces that laid the foundation into the content that you create today. And I think that's super poetic.
Love that. Yeah.
No, it's cool. I mean, you had a lot of events like Loungapalooza. You did some fundraisers as well. So you were keeping busy during your time during the lockdowns. And then when the lockdown started to, open, like when the scene started to open up around 2021, you just kept on. You just you kept the momentum riding like live now.
Yeah.
I remember one of the things like you opened for Tokimonsta. Also, I want to shout out because we have mutuals like with Daju and Zax. So
Yeah. That was the
shout
first
out to them
show
on
for
that
all of
one.
us, I think. It was the first show since COVID, and people still had to wear masks.
Yeah.
And I never got sick, never caught it. And then, so we did the show, and me, Zax, and Daju, and Tokimata all took a photo, and then we were
Oh
looking at it the next day, and I think me and Dom were the only ones who didn't get COVID. Like, Tokimata actually caught COVID from that show, and I felt
no
so
way.
bad. I was like, yo, why we had to be the one?
You know what's crazy though is now looking back at the photo, like seeing Dom do his thing, seeing Zax do her thing, like it's really cool to see like all y'all three go into these like sort of paths forward. Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things that you look back and you're like, damn, look at us.
Right? No, we're all killing it separately. I love
Yeah.
it.
No, it's great. It's great to see. And you kept on doing these shows, but one show in particular, a bit fast forward a year later, was when you went to the Philippines. So this was your first time performing, playing your home country at Orang Boracay. And it's really cool that Marco, another mutual of ours, he was able to plug you in on that. So tell me a bit about that. How did it feel from being, that girl in Cavite, like, eating, her Filipino mangoes to now performing in the Philippines in Boracay. That must have been surreal.
It was definitely cool because it was my first time back, my home country.
Mhm.
And as an adult, like it was different getting to experience that country as an adult since I got to do more. I got to go out. I got to like
Yeah.
talk to people as an adult. And working with Marco was really cool. I didn't get to meet him, unfortunately.
Oh, that's
He
right.
was
Yeah.
being cool in Indonesia, having a little tour out there. And I was like, damn, I wish I got to meet you. But I actually, so when I hit him up, I was introduced to Global Sounds through Orange Juice Asia. I found
Yes.
them on Instagram and I messaged them. I was like, oh, hey, I might be in the Philippines around this time. Would love to come out to any of your shows, or if you need a guest DJ, like I was selling myself basically.
For sure.
And then there was no response there. So I found out who was running it. And I was like, okay, let me message Marco Pedro. And I
Oh
did.
my God.
And then he replied there. And then he was like, yeah, I got you. Let me hook you up. I was like, yo, really? So he booked me for, I got to play at Poblacion and then hooked me up with his friend in Boracay. And it was my first time in Boracay too. I was like, yo, it's
No way.
sick. That is my first time here, but I get to DJ. So yeah, I was really, really lucky and forever grateful to Marco.
See, it's so fun, like just seeing, even though that we're so far apart, especially like, I know this is a bit of a tangent, but it's just the Filipino diaspora of us like reaching out, and it's not specifically Filipino, but there are like certain traits so we just want to help out the homies.
Yeah.
So just having that is it's cool to see that as a shining example that y'all didn't know each other specifically, but we were able to help each other out, and I think that's super sweet.
Yeah.
So another trajectory. So fast forwarding a bit further to May 2024, you see where we are in this. I wanted to highlight this because this was one of the other big key points in your DJ career was Aloha Got Soul. So this is actually one of the reasons like how I found out about you, as I bet a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Because it has 350K views now,
Dude,
which
it's
is
insane.
crazy. But I just loved your selection of bossa nova, soul, and I love that it was a set that you just cherished a lot because you had a lot of vinyls growing up, especially during your time in college where music was kind of a solace. So when you were vibing, you were, just enjoying getting to set the tone. How did it feel performing, first of all? And then how did it feel when it blew up?
Well, so I had taken vinyl like classes, and it had been like a couple weeks only, and my teacher was like, hey, do you want to play at AGS? I was like, what? You think I'm ready? Like, sure, if you think so. And she was like, yeah, don't think about it, just select. You don't need a mix, I know you're still starting out, just really just select songs. I was like, okay, I'll do that. So that took off the pressure. So I was like, yeah, just get to, not think about it. I have always been into bossa nova, and I don't know why I just have so many records, like Brazilian records. So I decided to show that. And the whole time I was just like, damn, am I supposed to be here? Like, just what is the word, or what's the phrase? Imposter syndrome. Like, what am I doing here? I'm surrounded by like people who really know how to do the stuff, and I'm just a little baby. So everybody was so sweet. A lot of my friends showed up, and seeing them enjoy whatever I was playing made it really just a lot easier for me to be there. And then I was excited when it was posted. I was scared because then I know there are a lot of keyboard warriors out there. A lot of, God. Like they love talking on the fucking comments. And so I didn't think it would just, it'll just be online. Great. But then it started to get a lot of fucking views, and my Instagram just blew up with followers. I always tell them like, yo, I owe probably like 5,000 of my followers to you guys, because they all came from that video. And with love. There are a lot of like love like comments, but there are also a lot of hate comments on there. I actually haven't checked that in a while, but
It's all good. I mean, regardless, it's like you'll always have haters that come by. So it's like,
right.
as long as you're enjoying it and you're vibing it, and the people that care about you, they love it. I mean, that's all.
I
That
was
matters,
like, I
right?
made it because I got haters. Let's do this.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Look, yeah,
I really made it. But then like it was a lot of like, oh, she's not even mixing, yada yada yada. And
Yeah.
that kind of just like fueled me to like want to do better. But also like at the same time, I brushed it off because they don't have the context. Like they don't know that it was my first time.
Exactly.
And they don't know that I was told to just, select songs. So that's totally fine. But I got invited to play again, and I tried to actually mix the second time. And I was a little more successful. But yeah, that was quite the journey. Actually, like the most insane thing that came from that was I was in Toronto in, I don't know when it was, May. And I was at a day party called Chillin' and Grillin'. It was a pretty big day party. I had woken up from a nap and then ran to the day party, and I was wearing a hoodie, sunglasses, a hat. I don't know why I was trying to hide. I think I was just sleepy. But somebody actually spotted me and was like, "Hey, are you caldee?" I was like, "Yes. What's up? Hey." And then he was like, "Oh, I've seen you play vinyl on YouTube." And I was like,
wow.
Yo, I already know what video you're talking about, but that's so crazy that you spotted me. Literally hiding.
That's crazy.
That was so insane.
I mean, it's crazy to show, like, at the end of the day, like, that video is still, reaching people. And I love that.
I know. Oh, God. I'm forever grateful to the AGS family for that.
Love that. So, another project, or at least another thing within that realm in Hawaii, was Down. So that, like, I want to ask for your context on that. How did that come to be with you and what is it called, the faux Pinoy that you call Mr. Celeste?
My wannabe Filipino friend.
There you go. Yeah, tell me about that. Just launching a project like, because that was your first like ever DJ project, at least a big event project like that.
Kind of, yeah. Before that, I did like it's called Vintage. I didn't name it, but it was a throwbacks like hip hop R&B party. But I was mostly there to like decorate and be a resident DJ. But Down was I was more involved in that. It was previously known as Wannabe Down, and it was ran by 2 people. And they asked me to join, and I had played for Wannabe Down once as a guest, and then they asked me to be a part of them because I was like a ride or die like supporter. I was like, yo, I love what you guys are doing, and then became part of the team. One of the founders left, and then now it was just me and Sean, and I basically helped kind of decorate and book people and just basically run the party during the like day of, and it kind of just soared.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of momentum. I mean, to this day, even just seeing the amount of stuff that y'all have been pushing out the content, it's crazy. But one of the things in particular, that's why I wanted to ask, was representing Down at the DMC World Champs. That's one event in particular that I really want to highlight, because that is another, I keep on saying critical point, but you know what I mean.
Honestly though, yeah.
So when Revise gave you the notification that you were, selected, or at least Down, and you were selected to represent Down, how did that feel? I
was like, what's going on? Like, what is happening right now? First of all, they were picking the major parties that are going on right now in Hawaii, and Down is one of them. And from each collective, we were supposed to choose one person, and it was either me or our other resident Ibis, who always plays like a battle DJ anyway. And I was like, well, I mean, I don't know, up to you guys. I'm also down. So, and then Sean decided that it should be me, and so I did the assignment. It was 15 minutes, and we were supposed to showcase as many genres, as many tempos, as many eras in those 15 minutes. And it was the most stressful prep I've ever done. I don't know why. It was just 15 minutes. But I just like DMC is just there's so much weight in that name, you know? And this was the very first open cipher in Hawaii in general. And so it was really an honor, and all the legends, all the OGs were going to be in one room.
That's
and
crazy.
I was like, yo, I really gotta show up for this, show up and show out. And so I did.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, just seeing your friends, your mentors, your families, people that you looked up to, all in that room, that must have been so surreal. That after that 15 minutes, you're like, wow, this is like a dream, essentially.
Yeah, Miles Medina too, and like my mentors, Terabyte, like having them behind me the whole time. I didn't know what was going on behind me because I was so locked in. So seeing the footage and seeing all the OGs like jump up on the stage when I did like the one party trick that I had, it was so sick. I had DJ Vice jumping. I was like, yo, this is it. This is it.
I was gonna ask what that party trick was, but you know what? Let's give it a little teaser so that way when people see your set, that they'll.
Yeah, it's literally the highlight on my Instagram page.
Okay, all right. Whoever's listening, you better check that out so that way you can see that highlight.
Yeah, DMC pin thing.
There you go. So I want to look back on that, since now we're in that sort of reminiscing phase of this, this interview. Is as you dive deeper into this music, you really got a chance to find your love through so many different genres and so many different avenues. I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, the first vinyl album at least, that you got was Exodus by Bob Marley and the Wailers. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, there
that
you go.
Gold
And then you expand.
Cover. I remember.
And then you expanded further into Disclosure, La La Land, like Nat King Cole. And that, like, it's all over the place. And that's what I love, is the fact that, like, you don't confine yourself to one genre. It's just a love of music in general. One of the quotes that I, was able to dig up was, going to your inner Lilo in terms of, music and your childhood like that. So how much has music as a whole been a solace for you throughout a lot of the tough times that you've gone through?
It's definitely saved my life, like on multiple occasions. I have a treble clef tattoo on my wrist for a reason. But it's definitely held me through darkest times, which is college, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. The Disclosure album, Caracal, yeah, that specifically, that really just like held me in the deepest, darkest times.
I think it's really poetic that, especially you being a DJ, is that as music has been saving you, now music is carrying you forward, and that love and that passion is taking you to heights that you wouldn't even, like, who would have thought that, like, you performing like all over like the world, essentially. It must be surreal to think about, just looking back, like that love of music pretty much still being with you throughout all that time.
Oh, for sure. I would have never guessed. I remember like when I was really going through it, I was like, well, there's one thing that I do have, and that's music. I was like failing school, like going through relationship issues and just not having it. And I was like, well, at least I have music going for me. Like, that's never going to go away. And I feel like me DJing is kind of like me saying thank you to music. Like, I just want to just keep doing this because it's carried me for a long time.
I think that's really awesome that you pointed that out, just because, you could feel a lot of the passion and that love of just performing with music through the sets that you make. So it's really cool to see, like, hear it verbally, like saying that and coinciding with that with the passion that you put into it. So that's really cool. Yeah. I love that. So several times I remember you said, you had pauses or almost considered quitting DJing, throughout that time, especially in college. One of the things that I do want to tackle, especially with creatives, you mentioned this a bit before, is, dealing with that imposter system. So what is your motivation to push you through those mental hurdles and obstacles to be able to chase your dream or your love for music?
All those times that I wanted to quit, I feel like it's because I had gigs that didn't really resonate with me. And so if I keep doing something that I don't like I'm just gonna I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So every time I do get booked for something cool while I've been like doing something that I hate,
Yeah.
I feel like, oh, do I even know how to do this anymore? Do I still know how to curate a set or even DJ? Because I've just been doing the same thing over and over again. I would listen back to my older sets actually, as like an inspo. I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
do know how to do this. Like if I can do that, I can do it again and do it better. So yeah, my older mixes will always like kind of remind me of like what I'm capable of.
Yeah, I think that's so sweet too. Now, like, I think because you still have them up on SoundCloud, I think, like a lot of your older
Yeah.
mixes too. Still, yeah. So it'd be really cool. Like, that's why I put it in like my notes. It's kind of like a little neat time capsule that people could check that out too to kind of see your growth. But yeah, no, I love that. I love that. So accelerating a bit forward into that, so I wanted to talk about you signing, your first deal. So you signed with Aura Studios, right? Is that correct? Shout out to Sean.
Shout out, Sean. I wouldn't say sign. We're still. I always like telling people we're in the talking phase.
Okay,
We're
fair,
still
fair.
dating.
There
We're
you go.
just
Okay.
still we're trying things out basically. But I mean, it's
Gotcha.
been when I first saw you at OC. That was my first time
Yeah.
meeting Sean as well, like in person.
Oh, really? Okay.
But we had been talking to each other for like a couple weeks, I think. Yeah, a month or two maybe.
Okay.
And that was my first time, working with a manager. Like someone else is taking care of me. Like he was at the venue first, making sure like everything was ready. And I was like, this is so nice that someone outside myself is making sure that everything is okay.
I was about to say, because a lot of the events and the likes, I remember you said that it was a lot of you doing a lot of the overhauls, like contacting, setting things up, everything like that. So I can't imagine how much a lift out of your shoulders it was to have someone manage that essentially.
Yeah, I mean, before him, I was doing all my bookings, doing all the contacting and billing and everything. Literally, I was just one-man band. And then he comes along and makes sure like the payment is good, the equipment is there and working.
Yeah.
He, the whole time he was fanning me, he was giving me drinks. I was like, yo, this is nice. Man.
So when you were working like that time, like, starting to work with a manager and stuff like that, I can't imagine. I think one of the common misconceptions that I see with people from the outside looking in is that now that they, are working with the manager and likes, it's like, oh no, they made it. But rather this is where the work begins now, where you're doing a lot of more gigs. I mean, if everyone like sees on Caldee's like IG, you're gonna see like the amount of gigs that you do is kind of ridiculous. And it's not just Hawaii, it's like LA, SF, like all these other places. So, when you got to start working with them, what was the first thing that were going through your mind? It was like, all right, fuck it, let's get it. Like, we're gonna go do all this shit. Like, is that sort of the vibe that you went when you started working with them?
I was definitely, I was skeptical, like that was the first time someone's reached out to me and wanted to manage me. And I was like, oh no, like there are so many bad things that could be, so many things that could go wrong. And like, but it was, Aura Studios is actually, this is new to them as well.
Oh, really?
They're originally a creative like agency, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
And then so there's Sean and there's Colin. Sean does a lot of the administrative work and the managerial stuff, and Colin is the creative. If you look at their page, it's a lot of like basically Colin's artwork. They do. Colin does like visuals for like Troy Boy, Excision. They did Bad Bunny. Like literally their roster is insane. That's why when they reached out, I was like, yo, is this a scam? Until like Sean kept emailing me and finally got a call. I was like, oh, okay, these are like real people. But I was skeptical. So I went into it like really carefully and, but literally no strings attached. Like Sean is genuinely here to help me grow. And it's so nice because like I can tell that he really cares. And me, Sean, and Colin are actually all Geminis, and I feel like we're all crazy in our own little way, and I love it. And we get along, so it's been really nice, and their connections have really like their aura objective, like connections are helping me out. And it's nice to have him reach out to those people, because then I didn't have those connections before. So I'm
For sure.
literally being introduced to a whole new, like, different market.
When you say different markets, you're not kidding. Like, you went all around, as I said before, to Hawaii, the Bay, LA, like almost every other weekend in some capacity. And you also went to New York and Toronto, like performing, like it's ridiculous. And then the accumulation of so much of your content coming out too, like with a lot of your virtual sets, your like not only your video mixes but also your car sets as well. And now you've sold out merch, which is really crazy. I don't know if you heard about that, like your merch sold out, right?
Yeah, and then now I need to do like pre-orders because people are mad that it's sold out. I was like, oh, I didn't think it was gonna sell out. So
Hey, I mean, more proud to you. Like, look at you now, like being able to, like, I can't imagine from that time, because when was that when you started talking with them? That was around like May-ish, June-ish?
I want to say, when was OC?
Oh, I think that was July.
July.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that was
so
July.
I talked to them
Yeah.
like early July, late June, I think.
Okay. Oh wow, that was really soon.
Literally,
What the heck? Okay.
yeah, like very.
So I can't imagine. I remember we were talking about this because we recorded like an episode that was shelved. But I remember we were talking about this earlier. Like, a lot has, changed in these past couple of months for you.
Yeah,
hasn't
I
it?
think I always tell people, I feel like my life changes so much every 2 months. Like ever since
Yeah.
February, when I went to New York for the first time, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier.
A part of me is like, since I'm releasing this in January, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna feel out there.
No, it's okay.
But no, I mean, regardless, I'm really glad at least to be able to capture a little like time, like a time outside of that crazy momentum, to be able to kind of reflect back and talk about your story overall. So yeah. So one event in particular that I really wanted to zoom in was Club Energy, because this is a huge passion project of yours, correct me?
Yeah,
if I'm wrong.
it's my baby.
Because after all the cumulative experience of all these events, and God knows how you balance it all, that's a whole other story. But this leads up into, the event that allows you to be you, a 3-hour event that allowed you to perform whatever you want with the crowd trusting you into setting the vibe. How did that idea come up, like, and the lead up to that?
Well, I've been throwing parties for so long, or I've been helping throw parties down, I came into it and like it already existed. So I was just help. I couldn't call it my own. Same thing with In Session. I came into the group with it already existing. So I couldn't call it my own, but I was putting so much effort into both of them. And I just finally wanted to have something for my own with my like full control, with creative direction, with the sound, the bookings, everything. And so with Down being in, I call it a deep hibernation. We're taking a pause. It's allowing me to make my own thing. So with Down being on hold, I'm just basically continuing the party with Club Energy, without a team this time, and I'm gonna try to do it on my own.
Because it was it you, Colin, and Sean together, like helping set that up, or was that mainly like your own, like?
Which one?
Club Energy.
It was Sean who reached out to venues to help me make it happen.
Oh,
I honestly wasn't even gonna do it. Like,
really?
I don't know how this came about, actually. He was just like, oh, do you want to do something out here? Like, I wanted to record, actually, just like a private recording. And it turned into a party in Agora Records. And I was like, oh shit, well, we can do that. Why not? And he reached out to them and worked out, and we filled the room with almost 100 people, and that place was tiny. So that was really, really sick. But
no, I can't imagine the vision that you had and be able to see it pretty much play out. I can't imagine how warm of a feeling it is to just see you be able to create something that was your baby and just see it come to fruition.
It was really cool. It really hit me when I posted the recap, actually, because I have this note on my phone that has everything Club Energy, like from the why, how the photos are going to look like, how the videos are going to look like, promo and everything. And posting it finally with that vision was like whoa, we just did that.
Man, and I can't wait to see, because I assume that you had a lot more in summer in the future, right? Or at least you want to be able to create more of that, essentially.
Yeah,
right?
so I'm basically bringing it to Hawaii on October 24th.
Oh wow.
I already have the date for November, but the whole point of it is like I just want to be able to play anything that I want, and there's so many different kinds of energies that come from different like cultures and genres and tempos, and I wanted to explore that in 4 or 5 hours. So a lot of these are going to be just me and one other guest, which will always it will always end up with me playing like 3 to 4 hours. And like playing 1 hour sets now are it's too short for me. Like I have a lot to say through music, and so
Love
like
that.
3 to 4 hours is perfect. Like that's a full like yap session right there.
I mean, and for those 3-4 hours, you were essentially like going through the gamut. I remember listening to the mixes and I was like, oh, she's changing up the tempo. Oh, she's doing this genre now.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was all, how do I say this? It all gelled really well. So no, I appreciate you being able to provide for that, and, you know, just set a vibe and set a mood that really a lot of the crowd really do appreciate. So
Yeah, it was
I appreciate
so
you for
much
having me.
fun.
Yeah, no, it was a vibe. So, out of everything that you have accomplished, and now that we've been reflecting on so much that you've done so far, how surreal is it to just look back and see where you're at this point relative to, you know, starting off when you were in Teak to now?
It's insane. Like, I think I get so busy that I don't ever have time to process what's going on around me. And I think the best way for me to process and like realize how much I've done is actually looking back at my calendar, my schedule, and seeing all the dates. And I'm like, how'd I do that? And how'd I get there? It's all really insane. And I mean, the year's not over, and like I said, every 2 months it just gets crazier. I think December, what I have planned in December is actually
Are you gonna say it?
crazy.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're gonna keep it a secret.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna be in Asia, so that's cool.
Hey, there you go.
So yeah, that's insane.
I mean, and that kind of answered my next question, is that I can't imagine how excited you are for what's to come. And obviously there's a lot of work to be able to like make that happen, but I'm really happy into seeing, you know, a lot of the passion and a lot of your love for music. It's being able to experience a lot of things that you would have never thought other. Like, imagine if you told like freshman year at like Teak that like you tell younger you're like, hey, you're doing this, you're doing that. I can't imagine that.
Whoa, I never thought about that. That's actually insane. I would have been like, you sure? How?
Now, especially through a lot of the trials and tribulations that you've experienced, like to be able to see a lot of this, it just makes it that much sweeter, if that makes sense, to be able to appreciate, because a lot of that hard work is you're starting to see the fruits of your labor.
Honestly, yeah.
You know?
You know what? I just remembered, this is I was like crying about this the other day. I actually make 10 years of DJing on October 10th. And that day I'm playing for Noise Complaints, opening for Anastasia in a huge warehouse in a 360 stage. I was like, yo, what a way to celebrate 10 years of DJing, man.
That's crazy. Damn.
Wait, I hope you can make that.
Wait, October, when is that?
October
Is that
10th
in LA?
in San Jose.
Oh my God. Okay, I gotta write that on my
Yeah,
calendar.
if you're in town.
We'll see. So many people are like trying to like hit me up to go to the Bay, so we'll see where it goes. I'll keep you posted.
Okay.
So to finally wrap it all up, given I create this platform to be able to inspire a lot of creatives or potential creatives to do their thing, what is one piece of advice that you give for our listeners that you'd share out to the world? Your microphone to the world, completely open-ended. One piece of advice.
Okay, I love this part. Well, pardon my French, but fuck it, just do it. Because you're gonna regret thinking like, oh, what could have happened, you know? I would very much rather take a no or experience a failure instead of like not even trying, you know? Like I need to experience that no, because then I can move on instead of wondering like, oh, I wonder how it would have went or if I got it, or, you know. So just do it. Not to quote Nike, but like, honestly, just go for it.
No, for sure. I think that's one of the big things is just being able to try it out. And if anything, when you fail, quote unquote fail, you kind of learn and become better than the person that you were, if you didn't do it. So just going through those trials and errors to become, the DJ that you are, I bet that really helped you into becoming who you are, essentially.
For sure. Like, I still have a lot to learn, and I still have a lot of failures to go through, but I'm not going to get any better without those failures. So
love that. And I think one of the things that I really wanted to say, because you actually mentioned about this earlier in the episode, was that treble tattoo, that first tattoo that you had in Midpack. Was that in Maui? I think that was in Maui.
That was in Maui, and unfortunately it no longer exists because of the fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because of the fires. I didn't even think about that. Damn. Well, quoting on the tattoo, the passion of music, it essentially is in your DNA, and I could definitely hear it through the music, as I said before. And there is a reason why it took me so many days to compile this research for this episode, because it is apparent in how much you love doing this and the amount of effort that you do to make it work. So honestly, caldee, keep on doing you, and I'm excited to see what the future has in store for you, because it's definitely really fucking bright. So I'm really happy to see what you've accomplished so far and what you are about to accomplish in the future.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Of course. So now that we finished up this episode, is there anything that you want to shout out? I think the first thing that I always love shouting out is people's social media. So where could they look you up at?
You can find me on Instagram. My handle is caldee. That's CALDEE. I'm also on YouTube. I think everything is linked in my bio on Instagram.
Yeah. No, don't worry. Like, if anything, I'll put a lot of the stuff in the description. I just wanted to make sure if there was anything specific that you wanted to highlight. I think one of the things that definitely to highlight is Club Energy.
Definitely.
So definitely checking that out. Yeah.
Follow gimme.energy. That's GIMME.NRG. So yeah, I will be, that party is an extension of myself. So I control that page. So.
All right. Well, I'll put everything in the description below, so that way the listeners do not have an excuse.
Right.
So that way they can check it out. But no, I mean, again, caldee, I know you're super, super busy, but thank you so much for taking the time to be a part of this episode. And let's go sign off and say bye to the listeners. See y'all, listeners.
Bye.
Living Mosaiq.
Hi there. Hope you enjoyed the first official episode of my podcast show, whatever you want to call it, Mosaiq Makers. It's taking some time to get in the rhythm of things, so it'll take some time, but I am excited to bring this back to you nonetheless. So first off, I just want to thank caldee again for taking the time to talk about her journey as a creative, going up in the Philippines and California, and then her leap forward in becoming a DJ in Hawaii, and then leading to where she is today. Fun little fact, this interview was actually recorded before her Asia trip, and you've seen the amazing amount of stuff that she's done so far. And if you haven't yet, check out all of her stuff. All of the socials contain all of that, and it is in the description below, so you do not have an excuse to not check it out. Now, as we ramp up Living Mosaiq, I do not want to make you miss out on the insane amount of content that we got in store, so please follow Living Mosaiq on our website, livingmosaiq.com, on Instagram at livingmosaiq, and all of our available social platforms. It's all in the description below. And I'll be posting these regular episodes, so keep up with it. It's going to be weekly, so please check it out and follow social media so you'll be one of the first to know. Now, if you like the show, please show your love by getting a like, share, and follow on all of our available podcast platforms. I just want to ensure that we get to spread this inspiration to the world, and with your contribution, you are helping. So please leave a good review and highlight anything you particularly love about the podcast, so that we get to curate this to be the best experience for you, the listener, because it is all about you. So thank you again for taking time out of your day to listen to this episode of Mosaiq Makers. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. See y'all.